Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John, that's my cohort and commentary Ashton, and this is our NXT review. And guys, what a quality Wednesday night. You know, for all you TWitWoW fans, we opened up the day with day 12 of the G1 Climax B block. That was great. Then we transitioned to Lucha Live reactions. Lucha Underground tonight was superb. And then we get to tonight's NXT, and we're both kind of meh. You know, NXT, it's good, don't get us wrong, but it seems like it has kind of lost its footing a little bit, which is a shame because, you know, Brooklyn 3 is right around the bend. But man, did NXT show up tonight. Not only did I think they had great segments pushing some of the stories for TakeOver Brooklyn 3, you know, some of the matches we're going to get, they even laid the groundwork. Two things are happening next week, and I'm equally hyped for both. Like, I love that NXT is actually giving us the hooks, telling us why we should tune in next week. And as far as this week, I mean, we got some fun matches, particularly the first match in the main event. And again, some memorable segments that have really got me amped up for Brooklyn 3, which it feels really good to say that because up until this point, I was pretty mad about it. But I want to get my cohort and commentaries take here. Ashton, what do you think of tonight's NXT?
Yeah, this is definitely one of the best episodes of NXT that we've seen in a few months. I think that this is one of those rare episodes where everything has a purpose, and all of the segments that we got tonight were relatively enjoyable. I think, honestly, the match that I was the least invested in was Johnny Gargano's match, and even then, it's a Johnny Gargano match, so of course I still care because I love Johnny Gargano. But yeah, like, that was the match that I probably cared the least about just because I don't really know much about Raul Mendoza or care about him as a character yet. I'm sure I will eventually, but yeah, Johnny's always going to do his thing, and the fact that that was the first segment that we got tonight, that was like the opener, and that only lasted like 8, maybe 10 minutes, and then everything else was just like good to great. Like, yeah, this was definitely a win as far as NXT goes tonight.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you, man. This was wonderful because, like you said, even Johnny Gargano's match, I liked it because we're telling the story of Johnny Gargano finding himself again and succeeding all over again, except this time on his own. So who's Johnny Gargano as a singles competitor? And when you've been doing primarily tag team wrestling, it makes sense that his first match in singles would be a match like what he got tonight. So from a narrative perspective, yeah, I even saw value in that match. Like, NXT hit all the beats tonight. This is a really great Wednesday, and I'm glad that we get to cap it off with this. So I'm ready to get into this whenever you are.
Let's do it.
All right, into our first segment, Heat of the Night. And I'm in such a good mood. I got no heats of the night. I got no nitpicks. Again, I enjoyed a lot of what NXT did tonight. I can't even really think of any criticisms off the top of my head, so I'm just going to leave it be. Ashton, do you have any heats of the night or nitpicks?
I actually don't. This is, I feel like I've had quite a few nitpicks and heats of the night on NXT over the last month or two, but not tonight, man. This was a really good show.
Absolutely. So let us get right into our NXT review. And, after our intro, revolution, resistance, we go right into Johnny Gargano versus Raul Mendoza. And Ashton, while I certainly see the promise and I respect and appreciate and all that good stuff, Johnny Gargano, I think on a fandom front, you've always come off as a bigger Johnny Gargano fan than myself. So I'll let you take the reins on this one. What did you think of this match?
I mean, it was all right. It was solid. Again, this was definitely my least invested segment of the night tonight. Johnny is great, but I'm just waiting for him to get a storyline because right now, the highlight of this segment wasn't even the match. It was Johnny's entrance because he comes out to the DIY theme and it's got, DIY up on the Titantron, and then he kind of stops at the top of the ramp and he looks back at it and points at it, and it changes to Gargano and we get a new entrance theme for him.
Yes, he kind of did that when he did his first formal address. Was he entered with the DIY theme, but then he left with his own theme, almost kind of signifying I'm putting the past behind me. And now Johnny has kind of done that again. I think this will be the last time they do it, and now it'll just be the new theme straight up going forward. But I do like that, especially if you did miss the promo by any chance. And you're like, oh, Johnny Gargano. And then you could kind of make the connection just through that imagery. Oh, DIY is no longer a thing. So yeah, I really appreciated this for what it was. Johnny got the win with the Gargano escape, and yeah, he's 1-0 in singles. He begins his road to hopefully the NXT Championship. So I was quite fond of this. Raul Mendoza got a little bit of offense in, but I think he was the perfect guy, you know, to lose to Gargano in his first match in singles. And now we'll see what Johnny does here. Maybe he'll get a spot on the TakeOver Brooklyn 3 card.
Maybe he will. We'll have to wait and see. But right now he doesn't have one. So do we want to move on?
Absolutely.
Okay, so this was interesting. We had a promo from Paul Ellering on Sanity. He says that the Authors of Pain will write the next chapter at TakeOver Brooklyn 3, but until then, be prepared because monsters are real.
I really appreciated this. You know, there's something about Ellering's speaking style. Like when he first started doing it, I'll be honest, it would be hard for me not to corpse, you know, and just laugh and whatever. But I actually think it works, you know, with what they're doing here. And the match of Sanity versus Authors of Pain is intriguing, but I think it's intriguing also in that bad way of like, okay, the crowd that night in Brooklyn is going to have to determine for themselves who the baby faces are and who the heels are. And, you know, if NXT wants to roll those dice, you know, more power to them, I guess. I'm just going to be very interested in how Sanity responds to this. But, yeah, it was a very straightforward promo. Nothing more you can say than that.
Yeah, definitely. So Ellering cuts his promo on Sanity, and then we get another promo, but this one is not just like a pre-tape. This is in the ring. Asuka comes out, and at TakeOver Brooklyn, she faces Ember Moon. And I do want to point out, it seems like her accent is something that she's, because she definitely sounded more Americanized in this promo than any other promo I've ever heard her cut. So very big improvement there for Asuka as far as speaking goes, and props to her for working to make that improvement. She also says that she's faced Ember before and will face Ember again and again, that Ember Moon is not ready for Asuka, but then Ember Moon's music hits, and we have ourselves a bit of a confrontation.
Yeah, I really can't say much about Asuka's bit. I liked it, and I do agree with you. She was very easy to understand for me. Her English has definitely improved, and she just goes, you know, to her line, you know, Ember Moon is not ready for Asuka. It was reported recently that Asuka, you know, broke another record, so her championship reign is just immortal. Like, everybody's going to remember this in NXT now. Like, Asuka's become the standard.
Well, yeah, and from what I understand, if she does retain the title at TakeOver Brooklyn, it is almost guaranteed that she will end up the longest reigning champion of any kind in WWE history.
Which is insane. That is insane. That almost makes me want to put my money on Asuka, and I still might. You guys are going to have to wait a little bit longer for that when we do TakeOver Brooklyn 3 preview and predictions.
3 weeks?
Wait, what was that?
I said 3 weeks, but it's actually 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So yeah, great stuff there by Asuka. But Ember Moon, and this is just for me personally, and maybe I'm biased because everybody knows what a huge Ember Moon fan I am. I thought this was some of her best work, and it's not even that it was like this stirring soliloquy, you know, or the stuff of Shakespeare. But for me, it was just honest. It was honest, and it was passionate. I've worked hard to get back to where I belong. You know, that's facing you again for that NXT Women's Championship. And, you know, what you fear, Asuka, is the truth. And the truth essentially is that Asuka isn't ready for Ember Moon, which to me, you know, that flies. Because if you think about how Asuka beat Ember Moon the first time, she threw the ref into the ropes, throwing Ember's balance off, and that's why she couldn't hit Total Eclipse. That was proof, you know, to me that Asuka, with her own capability, you know, without cheating or without exploiting, you know, resources, wasn't ready for Ember Moon. Ember Moon knows it. I think the crowd, you know, there knows it, and audiences that have kept up with it know it. So I thought that was great. And then Asuka sticks the hand out, like thinking she's going to do sportsmanship. Ember goes to shake it, even at the behest of the crowd, because I guess the crowd trusted Asuka. You know, shake her hand, shake her hand. Asuka fakes her out, and then she slaps the taste out of Ember's mouth. Ember hits Asuka right in the face, right back. Asuka goes down, but then Asuka rallies back, you know, just straight kicks Ember Moon, and then she's firing up. And then when she's posing with the championship, her back is turned. So then Ember Moon's on the top rope and she hits Total Eclipse. And where this segment goes even higher for me, and this is actually quite ironic because anybody that's been a long-standing listener of our podcast, first of all, as always, thank you. But you should also know about me. One of my favorite little bits, it's almost become cliched in wrestling, is when the opponent poses with the title. I always get goosebumps with that, especially if it's a person that I like. But Ember actually kind of turns that trope around. She's going to touch it, but then commentators even note, like, oh, you know, this kind of superstition and stuff that you don't touch the trophy or the belt or whatever the prize is until you win it. And you can see Ember's hand, like she wants it, but she just stopped short. And then she says, I'll hold it when I earn it. And I don't know why, like, I know I do love the trope, I do, but I think this worked just as well, and I loved it. Like, I was kind of smiling. I'm like, that is so cool that you've got a character like Ember Moon, and she's kind of adhering to this superstition, and she really wants to earn it. She wants to hold it knowing that it's hers. And that, again, is just another way to kind of demonstrate her passion, her desire to be NXT Women's Champion. So, yeah, this was easily the best segment Ember Moon has ever had. And she didn't even need to say much because I thought what she said was honest, and she backed it up, and the crowd was so receptive to it. So yeah, I'm pumped for this rematch. You know, whether Asuka wins or loses, this segment alone was the kind of build it needed desperately in my mind. No more emo Ember Moon of, oh, it was my destiny, I was supposed to be. No, this is the Ember Moon I wanted. So yeah, big fan of this segment. What about you, man?
Oh yeah, I agree with you that this is Ember's best segment ever, and I think really the big key to that is that she didn't need to say much. She came out, she said, you know, I've been doing everything in my power to get back to where I belong, and that's fighting for the NXT Women's Championship. And I know, and the people know, and you know the truth, and that's that you're not ready for Ember Moon. And that was it. That was all she said. That was all she needed to say. And she kept it succinct, spoke in sound bites, and that's what the Ember Moon character needs to do. And then we have this stare down, and Asuka reaches her hand out, and she offers up a big handshake that everyone's like, oh, is she going to do it? And right as Ember goes out to shake her hand, Asuka pulls her hand away, slaps Ember in the face, and then Ember returns fire with a really stiff forearm into Asuka. But Asuka does end up with the upper hand, tosses Ember out of the ring, and right as Asuka is celebrating and kind of having that moment of glory, Ember, we see out of the corner of our eye on the top rope, and she hits Asuka with Total Eclipse, pulling this whole segment to a close, and then pointing to the championship. Really tempted to pick it up and pose with it like you said, but no, she will pick it up when she earns it, and that's exactly what she said. That's an A+ line as far as I'm concerned. This was a really effective segment, and it worked for both women.
Absolutely, dude. I think you said it best with the word effective. Nothing more I can say than that. I was already pumped for the rematch given how Ember Moon was screwed. The only thing, but maybe they didn't want to chance it, and plus Ember Moon did stand tall, but I hope they have an interaction again because it's only like, what, 2 weeks now? So I don't know if they will, but I'd love if Asuka really wanted to heal it up, if they'd imitate that spot that originally injured Ember, but of course doing it safely this time, and you have Ember selling that arm, that shoulder. I think that would be a great way to go. But if they don't, honestly, I wouldn't even be too perturbed by it because this was, again, to your point, very effective. We'll see what else they can do within 2 weeks, and that's all I've got to say about it for now.
Okay, that makes sense to me, and I guess then that we can move on, right?
Absolutely.
Well, we had a Bobby Roode interview, and I know that neither one of us is really a big fan of Bobby Roode, but I also feel like you appreciate him more than I do because you're all about the gentrification of the NXT audience.
I mean, yeah, they're a bunch of failures, so they should get the hell out of the building and, you know, be better, suck less. That said, you are right. I've grown a bit apathetic to Bobby Roode. See, here's the weird thing with Bobby Roode. I feel like his matches can actually be engaging if it's somebody that I care about and can pull it out of him. Like, I care about Roderick Strong. That's why I think the TV match is so successful. I adore Hideo, and we're all going to see that later tonight. You know, so it relies so much on the opposition. But I will say this about Bobby. Is he a phenomenal promo? Not necessarily, but is he good enough to hold that title as a heel with the promo? I think so. For my money, I think so, because he addressed Roderick Strong first, and he once again invoked the Bobby Roode lottery, and he said, Roddy wanted to play it because, he's trailer park trash, more or less. He lost, but he's going to want to play it again, and the same thing's just going to happen again. And then we shift gears to Drew, which is even funny that Roderick keeps getting brought up. That's one thing I'd like to know. But then we shift gears to Drew, and Bobby Roode, says, well, Drew says he's a changed man. Well, here's an idea. You want breaking news? I want to sit down with Drew McIntyre next week. Bobby Roode, Drew McIntyre face-to-face, have a little chit-chat. So Roode goes to leave, but then Strong tries to attack him again. And, Strong is not putting up with that shit. He wants a piece of Bobby Roode again. He came within an eyelash of becoming NXT champion. He knows he can beat Roode, but he lost his shot, though. And McIntyre is filling in the void for Brooklyn 3. And Regal makes this point to him. He says, Strong, look, you got to be professional about this. You got to be professional about this. And Roode's like, what do you expect me to do? The man went after my family. I want Bobby Roode. I'll do whatever you want. Just tell me what to do to get back in the ring with Bobby Roode. And Regal straight up tells him, hey, man, my hands are tied. McIntyre's got the shot at Brooklyn. You just got to wait in line. And Strong very upset about that because, Roode just keeps provoking him, and Strong can't do anything about it. And so, yeah, really, to me, I enjoyed Roode's promo here. I thought it was serviceable. But again, the star here is Roderick, because even after losing his chance, well, I still think they blew the TV match, and it should have just been Strong and Roode at Brooklyn 3 1-on-1. I still care about him, because I cared about him appearing. Like, my eyes kind of widen a little bit. I'm like, oh, what's going to happen here? So, yeah, those are my thoughts on that. I mean, do you have anything you want to add?
I don't have anything I want to add, honestly. This whole thing is very interesting as long as Roderick Strong is involved, but if at any point this gets boiled down to just Bobby and Drew, I'm going to lose all interest.
Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure. And
they've done a good job of keeping Roderick Strong involved, but if NXT TakeOver Brooklyn rolls around and it's just one-on-one Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre, I'm not going to care.
I'm right there with you, dude. I'm right there with you. So in the meantime, that's all I have to say for now. We can move on.
And the funny thing, too, is that at the end of this segment, the final line that we go out on is William Regal saying, my hands are tied. At NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, it's Roode versus McIntyre. And that was just it. And then Roddy just left. So it seems like that'll be what it is, but hopefully this involvement with Roddy means that it will end up involving him somehow.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best we can hope for. Because to me, this is still, in a way, Roderick Strong's story. And as I feel like it always should have been. So we'll see how it goes. But for now, let's move on.
And then next, we've got the Street Profits, and we find out that we're going to be getting the Street Profits' big debut next week, and this whole vignette was filmed on the swag cam.
Dude, I love it. I love it. It's so good. I'm so excited for Street Profits. I know you had to kind of squeal a little inside because you got a debut date, and I know you love those, and you're always looking at them. Oh my God! You almost pulled a me with Mundo tonight. Goddamn. But yeah, this is great, man. I'm so excited for this. From what I'm hearing about the gimmick from people that have seen it live and stuff, very well received, a big hit. I can't wait for us to discuss it. Like, I'll be honest with the two things we're getting next week: this, and then something else that I guess I could say it now. It's not that big of a deal, but Andrade returning with his valet against No Way Jose. So revamped Andrade Cien Almas. I can't wait for that shit. And yeah, Street Profits, I hope they kill it. I'm so excited for this debut. And yeah, it's going to be great, man. This is a fun vignette.
Oh, yeah. Next up, though, we had our second match of the night, Sonya Deville versus Jenna Van Bamel, or Bamel, I don't know. Basically a Charlotte clone on the McDonald's diet.
Wow, Jesus. I feel like you've been more savage lately, and I love it, but I'm also a bit, tepid around it, because I'm like...
Don't even try and act like you didn't see a literal heavier version of Charlotte in this woman.
I mean, I didn't even really think about it, but then again, I really don't, I dislike Charlotte, but I feel like you have, hatred for her, so, I don't know, maybe that's how you saw it, and, I just miss it.
I just really just kind of feel like, not necessarily the whole world, but the WWE as a company would be better if Charlotte didn't exist in it.
That's fair. That's fair. That was stated very calmly, so clearly that means it was fair. So yeah, I mean, let me ask you this, Ashton. Like, in all seriousness, kind of bringing it back around, because the last time Sonya was on NXT and we did a review, we had a very lengthy discussion about Sonya, where her strengths are, where her deficiencies are, and it seemed like the deficiencies outweighed the strength, even though we knew there was a German idea there with the gimmick and everything. Did you see any improvements in this bout? Did you soften up on her a bit, or where are you with this?
So many improvements, John.
Take us through them, man, because I was hoping you'd say that. Take us through them.
Well, immediately, I love that she's not shadow boxing her way to the ring anymore.
That's true. She did a little bit at the top of the stage, but I could forgive it. You know, I was like, all right.
And then when she got in the ring, she has her little sequence that she does in the ring that kind of matches up with her music, and that is cool. I can dig that. And then I appreciate even more that as soon as she got in the ring, first thing she did was get up in Jenna's face. Like, she acted like she was going to punch her right then and there. And then she kind of backed off and laughed it off. As like, haha, I faked you out. And then she did like the sideways trot around the ring. And then she did the quick shadow boxing sequence. I like the entrance now. Last time I felt like it was way over the top, way too much of the shadow boxing, way too animated, show don't tell, that kind of stuff. And this was better. But then even in the ring, I love how arrogant she was. And I absolutely love that she won with a jumping triangle armbar.
Yeah, that was cool as hell. And I think what made it even more impressive was because, you know, her opposition was a bigger competitor, as you yourself so colorfully noted. And I just thought it was a really creative finish. But honestly, like, you know, I don't take notes for NXT. But if I did, my note would very simply be one word: personality, because that's what I felt like Sonya really showed in the ring. When she's like, this is my ring now.
You know what? That's the one negative note that I had for her. I wanted her to be saying that to her opponent, not to the camera.
That is true, but you know what though, dude? Even if she's still working some of the kinks out, I just like that she was more animated in the ring.
Your memory might have kind of tricked you a little bit there. She didn't even say, this is my ring. She said, you're in my ring now.
Right.
Saying that directly to her opponent. And she could have, I think it would have been badass if she would have. But as it is, she literally just shouted that at the top of her lungs, like into the camera. It was kind of awkward, and it maybe just is like a sign of inexperience, and that like she needs to learn that she's supposed to be in a real fight here, and that she's not just like, you know, the WWE does things, they don't want it to come off as you're like this character or this performer playing a wrestler. You're supposed to be like, you're supposed to buy into this idea that you are a wrestler.
Right. But you know what though? I have to say this, and your notes already kind of covered this point already. Between the last time we saw her and this time, we've definitely seen a maturation of the character and how she portrays it. So even now, even with her being so animated, maybe there are a few kinks to work out. I just appreciate that she was more animated in the ring, period. Like, I love that she was trash talking. I love that she was like, oh, come on, hit me. Come on, hit me. Because that's infusing personality with a gimmick that, you know, for most people would probably be lifeless. You got to bring the life to it. And I feel like she did in a lot of ways. And like you said,
but if I remember correctly, commentary actually said that she was pulling a Mayweather there. But to me, that's more pulling a Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, hell, Muhammad Ali, he was famous for that one fight where he was beating a guy so bad, he was like, say my name, because all throughout the fight, he wouldn't like call Ali by his actual, you know, chosen name, and he made him say,
was he calling him Cassius?
I think so, yeah. And then, you know, when the bell rang, Muhammad Ali, he owned his ass. And I feel like, yeah, Sonya definitely had that vibe where it's like, come on, hit me. And then even though she shouted it more like in general, you know, just you're in my ring now. And like, it works. It works. And yeah, I thought the finish was great, just the way she snapped it out of nowhere. And again, showing that experience, right, that they always talk up. They're getting there. And really, don't even take my word for it again, folks. Again, I fielded that question to Ashton immediately because I know he had very extensive commentary the last time we saw Sonya. So,
well, yeah. And really, to me, what I'd love to see, just because like I know that she comes from this MMA background, I would love for the bell to ring and for her to immediately jump into attempting to get that triangle armbar locked in like immediately, because that, like, I've seen sparring matches and Muay Thai fights and MMA fights and UFC fights that's just like there's just one person that's just uber pissed off for no reason, and the match starts and they run in and they jump on the person and grab them in a triangle and win that way.
Yeah. And that is one thing that I will absolutely agree with you that I'm still waiting for, because if they want to build up Sonya like, oh, she comes from this world, she has this experience in that world, because believe me, I've seen UFC events. I know you've seen a few UFC bouts yourself. Like, it's not like wrestling. You want to end it as early as possible. There have been main events that they hype as like fight of the year, and it ends in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking at you, Ronda Rousey. So, you know, to me, or you, CM Punk, of which you were a minute 16, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't even a main event.
Yeah, that's true. That was just, oh, CM Punk's major debut. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Even fights that they really promote, the thing about UFC is, oh, we have the authenticity. These are expert grapplers and strikers, and you never know when it's going to end. Sonya should approach it with that same mindset. You know, it should almost be a case of you can take the woman out of the cage, but you can't take the cage, like, fighter out of the woman. And just trying to end things as quickly as possible. You know, they've done it for competitors that look imposing, like Bull and especially Baron when he had that thing going for a little while. Do it for Sonya. I think that'd be cool as hell. And plus, here's the thing. I think there's going to come a point where they're going to want to turn Asuka face again. Maybe by that point she'd be on the main roster, so it's moot. But hypothetically, if she'd still be on NXT, you know, it would be a great heel to get Asuka her, you know, face bearings again. Sonya Deville with the proper booking. So, you know, I do see, again, a germ of an idea there with a lot of promise, and I think they're coming closer than they did her last appearance. Still a few things to work out, as we both noted, but yeah, this was a fun outing, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Up next, we've got Kayla Braxton interviewing Hideo Itami, talking to him about, you know, Cassius Ohno and that whole situation. And he basically just goes on this rant about how all he wants is respect. He deserves respect, and he can't show Ohno respect if Ohno doesn't show him respect. And then Kayla tries to cut him off, and she's like, oh, I'm being told that we need to go back to the ring. And Hideo grabs the mic and walks out to the ring, and he gets in the ring, and he goes on this long, like, ridiculous repetitive rant about how he deserves respect. You need to respect me. I should be respected. People should respect me. And it's like he really was just buying time so that Aleister Black's music could hit.
You know, I'm personally quite disgusted at the disrespect shown to Hideo Itami. I doubt that he listens to this program, which he should, because, you know, it's better than all the crap that his so-called friends Cassius Ohno give him. You know, get an earful that actually feels good, Hideo. Listen to TWitWoW. So, yeah, so I'm personally disgusted by the disrespect. I mean, this man gets injured and he keeps coming home to you people for reasons I will never understand, because you're a pack of ingrates. And when he tries to educate them, like, hey, you should respect me because, you know, I've actually injured my fucking neck for you people. Aleister Black comes out and he's all brooding and fade to black. I'm neither good or evil. I don't know what I am. Ooh. And he has this stare down with Hideo. And Hideo, okay, being the professional that he is, was going to concede the ring to Aleister. Now, I'm going to tell you, actually, because you know I'm an intelligent guy. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, okay? He was going to concede the ring to Black, right? But he realized, you know what? Things were a little tense. I respect Aleister. You know, I'm just going to apologize. So the man goes over to apologize. Hideo is a man of class and character. And what does Aleister do? He gets triggered, and he's like, oh, I have to defend myself, Black Mass. And Hideo wasn't even ready for it, and he knocked Hideo out. That was shameful, and that was disgraceful, and Aleister Black, shame on you, sir. Shame on you. But, yeah, that's how he disposed of Hideo, a man who was once again a victim of yet another injustice. I don't know when it ends. He doesn't know when it ends, but something needs to be done about this because this is madness. Thoughts?
Well, that's definitely one side of the story, one potential explanation for what happened. You know, I could be wrong, just like you could potentially be wrong, but when I was first watching this, it really did seem like Hideo, he was kind of getting ready to exit the ring, but then he realized, oh, wait a minute, I still need to be respected, and he was getting ready to turn around and attack Aleister Black. So Aleister, in a brilliant move of foresight, kicked Hideo's head off so that he could prevent him from ruining the upcoming debut of Kyle O'Reilly.
No. No, don't think so. But yeah, to segue, we do get Aleister Black versus Kyle O'Reilly. And partner, all jokes aside, because I am really excited, potentially, because I think we're getting, because I'll even say now, because it's more relevant in this context before we fully transition.
And plus, you know what, John? Brandon Best makes a great point. They are in Florida. Stand your ground laws are in existence there.
Well, you know what? I have no comment to that. But what I am going to say is I am very excited for Hideo versus Aleister, because I was even getting ready to say, when we were talking about Sonya, I had the video muted, but I wanted to see it. They did an NXT Fallout kind of it where Hideo tried jumping Aleister. He was unsuccessful, but yeah, that clearly shows their issues aren't over. If that's going to be a match on Brooklyn 3, you can count that as my match of the night right now. And it hasn't even happened yet, but I think those guys are going to fucking kill it if that happens.
Well, if tonight's match between Black and O'Reilly is any kind of an indicator, then yeah, it is definitely going to be match of the night at Brooklyn.
It's not like, yeah, because it's not like we have, yeah, exactly, because it's not like we have the tag team division to worry about, you know, with the Revival and DIY both gone, you know, so. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you emotionally this time.
You can't go from talking about Aleister being triggered to triggering me. Oh, God, the tag division doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, your life is essentially over. Not to pour salt in that wound or anything, but, you know, just kind of a casual observer of the chaos.
We waited way too long to let DIY main event.
Yeah, they did, bud. It's really a shame. But anyway, yeah, Kyle O'Reilly versus Aleister Black. Kyle O'Reilly very well received. I'm just going to say very succinctly, I fucking adored this match.
Yeah.
Aleister Black, like, I'll tell you what, with Black, it's so weird because, like, I want to keep thinking about him in the NXT title picture, but you know what else, though? Like, I'm honestly amazed at times that he hasn't even been called up yet. Because I know he hasn't been in NXT that long, but I mean, think about it.
He could literally just, like, step into Raw and feud with, like, a Balor or a Wyatt immediately and have credibility.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
or like on SmackDown, you could put him against Nakamura, Ziggler, Owens, Styles, any of those guys. And hell, even Cena, even Corbin, like, he has the kind of, like, the presence and credibility to be able to pull it off.
Brother, I want Aleister Black on SmackDown Live so that a future main event would be Aleister Black versus Nakamura for the WWE title. Like, that is... That's number 2 for you tonight. That is my fucking dream world right there, where we get main events like that. Because Aleister Black, and here's the thing, like, I wouldn't even necessarily say I'm a quote-unquote mark for the guy, but you know, when I feel like somebody has it or whatever, I will always give them their due. And that's where Black is with me. Like, he's got it. There's just no denying that he has it. Even if you don't care for what he brings, you can't deny that he checks every box for a future main eventer in WWE. He's just so well-rounded, and Kyle O'Reilly brought the best out of him. I mean, a great strike exchange. I loved how they tried to work, especially, you know, O'Reilly, because that's what he was bringing more. Aleister's primarily strikes. But, like, the submissions felt like they really had to be worked for, and they had psychology behind them. So it's like, to me, it almost seemed like a Spot Fest-esque, but, like, with actual psychology infused with it all, and a story infused with it all. And I really, really appreciated that. Because, again, a lot like the Bobby Fish match, like, if I was young and watching this, I would believe, yeah, this is a real fight. These guys are trying to kill each other, get supremacy, and it was just incredible. So I know you were a big on this main event, so give us your full thoughts, man.
Well, I do have some bad news before I get into all the good, and that's that Aleister Black does not check every box. He's not over 6 feet tall.
God damn it. Because that's like the one box. I don't say that actually matters, because is Jinder 6 feet? Because with
Jinder's like 6'5".
Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't look that big to me. But regardless, I can't believe that Aleister then isn't 6 feet. That's nuts. What the fuck?
He's 6 feet even. He's just not over 6 feet, which Vince really likes. Because Dolph Dolph used to complain a lot about not being tall enough for Vince, and I'm pretty sure he's 6 feet even, or maybe even 6'1". So,
God damn it. But you know what, though? I hope that Aleister Black can overcome that. So, yeah, fuck it. I still want to roll the dice with
basically,
this guy.
Aleister Black is he's the difference between him and Ziggler is charisma.
Yeah, for sure, dude. He oozes it without saying a goddamn word.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. I honestly feel like him and Nakamura have that same quality, because Nakamura to me doesn't even have to talk. Like, he enters the building and you know shit's going down. I feel like Black, if he hasn't already, is attaining that quality. And for me, he already has. I just want to speak more for the room in case people are like, I'm not quite there yet. No, for me, yeah, he enters, shit's going down. And shit went down again. So continue, please. Give us your full thoughts on this main event between Black and O'Reilly.
You can't ask me for my full thoughts on a match that was like 15 minutes long and had everything in it. It was so good.
Yeah, it really, really was. Like
so many axe kicks from O'Reilly, so many knees, so many back fists, even so many forearms in this match were brutal. All the shoot kicks in this match were great. Really, this was the closest thing to like a shoot style wrestling match that you're gonna see in WWE.
Of the 4 great matches we saw today, I'm going to put you in the hot seat because I'm really curious.
Wait. There were 4?
Well, to me,
referring to G1 too. Okay.
Yeah, because we got Kenny Omega versus Evil, which I believe both you and I thoroughly enjoyed.
You know what though? I mean, if I had to rank the 4, that would be at the bottom of the 4.
Really? So my question is though, where does Aleister O'Reilly rank for you? Because this was a really good match.
2 or 3? Probably 2, honestly. I would probably put this above Mundo Azteca.
You know what? And again, this is coming from the Mundo mark. I'm inclined to agree. I love Johnny, and every Johnny Mundo match is going to be my favorite Mundo match ever because, like, I'm always grateful to see him. But, like, yeah, this was a great fucking contest, and it shows you, again, that Aleister Black, he's the future. And even if he doesn't have the whole height thing, like I said, I'm still willing to roll those dice. Fuck it. Like, I believe, hopefully, is what I'm trying to say, that we're looking at a future WWE champion. Maybe Universal champion, because, you know, Raw, maybe he could be that big Raw star too. I don't know. That's going to be for WWE to decide. But I think he does have that Universal appeal. Him and O'Reilly killed each other, and I loved how it ended. I love that Black Mass has got, like, I know I normally say the RKO, but I think because it's a kick-based finisher, like, maybe that'll be this generation's Sweet Shin music.
Yes. Well, I mean, honestly, depending on how he hits it, it almost looks like a Sweet Chin music, you know?
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, it has that suddenness, that explosiveness. And look, I remember as a kid seeing Shawn Michaels hit that out of nowhere and taking my goddamn breath away. And I feel like Black's Black Mass has that same quality. So, yeah, I know, like, we always go to the RKO for the suddenness. No, I want to go one step above that. I'm comparing Black's Black Mass to an actual Hall of Famers finisher and Shawn Michaels in his Sweet Chin music.
Oh, so, stop it. Randy Orton's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer as soon as he calls it a career.
Oh, we know that, but he's not there yet. Let me have this. But regardless, yeah, Aleister Black, he's right there for me for sure.
Yeah, he's great. But yeah, man, this is actually our main event, and the finishing sequence of this was great. Bunch of strikes being traded. O'Reilly goes for a discus forearm, and Aleister hits him with Black Mass for the win.
Yeah, Aleister rolls on. Hideo clearly has beef with MC. I will, and this isn't a criticism, Hideo, this is just a suggestion, and that may look like a criticism, but if you're going to jump somebody, you need to, you know, do your best Braun Strowman. You need to announce first that you're not finished with Aleister Black. I'm not finished with you, which is also our newest shirt on Teespring, Buy the Shirt. And then you need to perpetrate the assault. So, you know, maybe that was the problem.
Have you ever heard the Braun Strowman theme song lyrical version?
Heard it, brother. I raped the replay button on that shit. That shit's fucking amazing.
I love it so much. I'm not finished with you.
Dude, honestly, I love it so much that I even said, clearly I didn't say it to you because we're just now talking about this, but I said to somebody, that really should be his theme. Because, like, I like his theme as it is now, but that lyrical bit just takes it to a whole nother level for me. Like,
so good.
oh, you
But
know
dude,
what else
like,
was
that's the
so
thing,
good?
though, like that's that. I feel like that line is like all the rage on the internet, but WWE, it's like they haven't caught on yet. Because when they catch on to a line being catchy, they put it on everything and they abuse it. And he's only said it like twice since the first time he's actually said it.
But you know what's crazy though? Like, I feel like he still said that stuff more than Rollins has been running with this burn it down stuff recently. So I don't know, WWE, you need to get on it. But you know what else was great? NXT tonight, as was this main event. But let's shift gears now to our next segment.
Way to always bring it back, brother.
That's what I fucking do. But yeah, next segment. My God, I need to get off the drugs after this. But next segment, high spots and low shots. Man, you know what? My low shot, honestly, I hate to do it. My low shot's Hideo. Because, like, it hurts. It hurts. And
he did get disrespected to a pretty atrocious degree.
He did. He calls out the fat ass in the interview. Oh, Cash just didn't respect me. Yeah, so he calls him out, right? Him and his Dunkin' Donuts. And then he goes to lecture Full Sail because, like, why are you even in class right now? What the fuck are you doing in the office? Shouldn't you be studying? Isn't that why you're here? But no, so Hideo goes to lecture them, giving them the only education that matters, respecting greatness. And then this, I don't know, goth, emo, whatever he is, prick, comes out and does Black Mass's little kick. So,
man,
yeah.
he's not a goth, he's not an emo, he's a Satanist. There's a difference.
Oh, you know what? Guilfoyle's a Satanist. That's a Satanist I could get down with.
Well, yeah, they're both Satanists. What's the difference?
Well, no, what I was going to say was, Ashton, while Guilfoyle understands the importance of being a part of a team and building something, Alistair's just a douche. Like, Hideo was going to welcome him formally to NXT because, you know, it belongs to Hideo and his greatness, and Alistair just kicked his head off. So, way to feel provoked for no reason. Take notes from Johnny Mundo. He was actually provoked tonight. You weren't. There is a difference.
He really, really was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. But no, in all seriousness, it was a rough go for Hideo.
Dominic's such a little piece of shit.
I know, God, fuck him. But I will say too, then Hideo tries to find Alistair in the back to apologize, and suddenly we have a kerfuffle on our hands. I don't understand. You know, it's really quite a quagmire, but I know Hideo's gonna.
And it's a quag. Which one is it? Is it a kerfuffle or a quagmire?
That's why synonyms are a thing, Ashton. But yeah, it was a rough night for Hideo, a rough night for my thesaurus. And yeah, just a rough night for everybody. So, who's your low shot?
Well, John, my low shot for the night is Charlotte Van Buren, or whatever the hell her name was.
I don't think, was her first name actually Charlotte, or is that you projecting again?
No, her first name was Jenna.
Oh, okay. Like, she was so irrelevant to me, I didn't.
So,
you could have
let's just roll with Jenna Van Charlotte.
Okay, that worked. Again, like, her identity means nothing to me. You could have honestly said yes. I wouldn't have pushed any further. Like, I would have believed you. So,
I mean, yeah, because, like, I'm not going to give Raul Mendoza my low shot because, first of all, that name. Second of all, he was on TV, which is more than I can say about most of the other people that got eliminated in the same round of the CWC as him. And third of all, he might have lost, but he did lose to the greatest man on the history of the planet.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with all of that for sure. Moving right along, my high spot. This is a bit tougher for me, if I'm honest. But you know what, though? I might as well complete it. My high spot is Aleister Black. Because even though you don't know who the hell you are, apparently, whether you're good or evil, you do know one thing that you are, and that's undefeated. And that streak continues tonight.
John, he knows exactly who he is. He just doesn't like labels.
Oh my God! Take it to the goddamn message boards, Jesus Christ! But anyway,
I thought for sure you were gonna say take it out behind the hot topic.
Yeah, I hate that. Well, that too. Oh my God, that store. But anyway,
hey man, they're selling club merchandise. They're selling LIJ merchandise. They're selling New Japan merchandise. As far as I'm concerned, Hot Topic and I, we're okay.
You know what? I'll actually give you that. You earned that one. Just like Aleister Black earned a huge win against Kyle O'Reilly, which is why I'm just picking him for my high spot because he did earn it, even though he's a disrespectful little shit stain. But that'll be corrected in due time. So Aleister Black is my high spot. Who's your high spot, Ashton?
This is a tougher one, but I guess. Oh man, you really took the best one, so I guess I'll take my backup. I'll go with Johnny Gargano because it's his first match back. He got his own Titantron and theme music, and of course, above all else, he put up that W.
I mean, yeah, he's still a loser at heart, though, because his best friend betrayed him and he did nothing about it, and his wife probably left him because she was ashamed. But he's slowly getting his life back together. So, I think for that's definitely commendable. He gets the win here, and I think we all learned something today. I mean, not really, but I thought it was nice to say.
You're the worst.
Wow, you don't mean it because you still associate with me. So, who's really the worst here? Or maybe I'm just so toxic.
It's definitely still you.
Okay, I just wanted to make that crystal clear. All right, well, yeah, great choice of high spot. You did admit though that I took the best one, so I guess I win this week. And
yeah, I'll definitely concede the high spot to you this week. I still think I had the funnier low shot though. So
you know what? I will give you that. Just excellent work as always, but then again, it's us, so whatever. But yeah, this has been NXT. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my co-ordinating commentary action. Guys, be sure to comment, subscribe, and like the video. The more likes you leave, the more likely we are to be the top search result for NXT reviews on YouTube. And when you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place that you belong. So please leave that like. All right, guys, quick rundown. All of our social media and things that we're a part of are in the description box. I want to single out two things in particular: the Patreon and the Teespring. With the Teespring, as I already noted earlier, we have a new "I'm not finished with you" t-shirt. So, if you want to tell any obstacle, any person, whatever, that you're not finished with it, this is the shirt for you. Go to the Teespring store and check it out. And if that's not for you, hey, we also have a litany of other great TWitWoW and Scum Squad merch, stickers, everything. We're a brand, baby. We're taking over. So check out all of our offerings on Teespring. Other thing I want to plug is the Patreon. Big thing I want to plug, of course, is the Discord. Counting the two of us, we have 14 people in the Discord right now. That is a healthy app right there, but I know we can get more. Feed us more. And it's only $3 a month to be a member of the TWitWoW Discord. Those of you that got in on it for this month, you lucked out, because it's G1 Climax Finals this month. It's TakeOver Brooklyn 3. It's SummerSlam. And we get to talk about all this stuff intimately. Our hype, our expectations, the afterglow. Like, what did you think about it? All that stuff. Intimate access right on the Discord, because I don't talk about Raw much anymore on Twitter. That's Discord exclusive. So, I mean, yeah, you want to get in on the Discord. And the best thing about the Discord, as I always like to say, purchasing power. $3 a month. Multiply that by 10 months. Steiner Math says that's $30 accrued. What can you do with $30? Well, at $10 an hour per live reactions, that equates to a live reaction to a 3-hour show. Do you see how fucking amazing Steiner Math is? Do you see it? Yeah, get in on this shit. Donate to the Discord, be a part of the ultimate TWitWoW experience. And guys, as far as content goes, here's the rundown. Thursday, we all get a breather. There is no TWitWoW content pounding your inbox. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is all G1 coverage. Friday at 3 p.m. when we go live, it will be day 13, the A block. Saturday, it'll be day 14, B block. Sunday, day 15, A block again. We are really getting close, guys, to the end of the tournament. If you haven't joined us yet, you're going to want to be there, because now we're really starting to see who the winners are, who the losers are, everything. And then on the 13th, it's going to be the finals. So we're really getting there, guys. 10 days away from it now. So that's the breakdown for the rest of the week. And, of course, looking to the future, August 31st, the last Thursday of the month, is Q&A. TWitWoW, YouTube, Discord, Facebook. Those are the outlets you can submit questions to. So get them in there. 4 questions per Q&A. Again, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Discord. Get them in there. 4 questions. Divvy them up however you like. You have until August 31st Plenty of time. I know I've already gotten quite a few questions, so I'll have to record them, get them organized. So a lot of you have already participated, but I know there are many more of you that still want to get in on it.
John. Yeah, record them and get them organized using tabs this time instead of spaces.
Hey, first of all, go back to muting your mic. Bad, Ashton, bad. Yeah, mute your mic. Second of all, I was doing tabs on my original document, but then I upgraded my computer because it's dope now, okay? But I'm going to remember to do tabs because you were like, oh, I spent 20 minutes editing the document. So yeah, I'll remember. Just stay in the corner. Stay in the corner. Anyway, sorry for that. I will remember to do tabs. You guys remember to submit your questions because I don't need this right now, okay? I need this, all right? Just submit your questions so I don't look like shit because now I don't want it to be like, oh, I don't want to submit questions because I may create more work for Ashton because John's inept. I am not inept. I am not inept. I will tab. You will submit your questions. Everyone will do their fucking jobs. Like Ray's going to do the job in 3 weeks because fuck him. But anyway, I'm going to come down. I'm going to come down. You guys know what to do. You know what your freaking job is. So do it. Do it, or I'm going to tell your mothers about it, and they're going to be right about, well, you know, I'm not even going to finish the thought. Just do it, and until then, we'll see you guys Friday for A-Block matches. Bring your fucking best. It's CSJ versus Naito. It's going to be off the fucking hook. And until then, keep enjoying that great wrestling. Keep enjoying us because we're your lifeblood. And until then, stay tuned.